Hello, everyone. Welcome to At This Moment with me, Jim Jefferies, and Amos Gill. Before we start the show, I'm going to promote a few gigs that I got coming up. Go to jimjefferies.com for all your Jim Jefferies needs. Look, I got some gigs coming up: Salt Lake City, Boise, Indio, Fort Wayne, Indianapolis. But the most important one coming up, March 21st. If you are in Chicago, yes, I am recording a new comedy special in Chicago for Netflix. Chicago 21st at the Vic Theatre. Amos will be there performing as well.
I'm going to fly from Australia to open for that. And if you want to see me, anyone, I'm going to Edmonton this weekend to the Comic Strip and then the Perth Fringe, Adelaide Fringe. And then I'm literally doing an overnight flight to go see you do your Netflix special. Oh, it's going to be a good one, isn't it?
Very sweet.
You're paying me, though.
All right.
I'm not doing it for nothing.
All right, what's going on at this moment?
It's episode 3, is it?
Episode 3. It's been a big success.
I've been reading some comments. Can I read you my favourite comment?
Sure. I don't read the comments.
Well, some people obviously said some very hateful things about me.
This is the thing, Amos. You're at the stage of your career where you're still reading the comments. No.
I like to be kept honest.
Oh, no. It brings depression.
There's wisdom.
No one's ever gone, I read the comments and I felt so much better about myself. And I found out that everyone loves me and no one thinks I'm a cunt.
There's wisdom in the herd.
Right, Gilly's a cunt underneath this clip right now.
Here's my favourite comment. It just said this. This is the second episode and Jim has the same guest on and he doesn't seem to be an expert on fucking anything.
Yeah, that's funny. That's a funny one.
That's a good one.
That's someone who's enjoying it.
Yeah, that's better than you've got a fat head and you're an ugly cunt.
Yeah, but your mum has to write something.
And that has pissed me off about these clips. Fucking hell, I've got a big head. Big Slavic head. Big Balkan balloon.
Your head's gotten round. Look, we're both, like all photos, to quote, who was it? Mitch Hedberg used to do that photo, when that joke when people goes, do you want to see a photo of me when I was younger? Yeah, it's all photos, right? So we're literally sitting in front of photos of us when we're younger, right? Which isn't a good move.
It's really
with
quite
perfect
brutal.
lighting and a tilt and things like that. And then your fucking head where you're looking like, oh, I'm an edgy type of thing. And then you look at you in the flesh, you look
soft.
Like you couldn't even deliver pizza. You'd be too busy delivering some type of seasoned meat.
I've got real booze head at the moment.
Yeah.
I got the puffy,
terrible looking fella.
But have you ever looked at the old photos of you before you gave up the grog?
Oh, if you want to find there's a couple of photos out me where I'm at actual events and stuff, and I'm on coke, and I'm like just sweaty and puffy, and
I showed my girlfriend a photo of you. The UK version of you when you were just hammering pints and cocaine doing the road.
Yeah.
And it was a fucking bulbous inflamed thing on your shoulders.
Yeah.
With rat-like teeth.
Yeah. But it didn't matter in the UK. That was when I was getting the best looking women in my life.
Say what you will about America, but fucking hell, you do have to tidy up your act here.
Oh, yeah. In Britain, that was just like, that's how he looks, isn't it? With his fucking janky teeth.
I like his character.
Yeah. He's got a head for radio. Not anymore. No, we have to film these fucking things.
Did people tell you that you were too ugly to be on American television, or was it an internal thing where you thought, I don't want to see myself?
No, I got legit, which, as I've said many times, the thing I'm most proud of in my career, I got legit. Season 1 of legit, I was like, fucking hell, that's my head, is it? And so season 2 of legit, I had a hair transplant. It didn't really take. It sort of took a little bit. Right. It's a little bit better. And I got on the Propecia, and I got a bit of fat sucked out of there. I didn't get a tuck. I just got a little bit of fat sucked out of there, which now to this day, if I gain too much weight, I sort of get bowls around there. And then
why? You're funnier when you're fat. Why do people? Too many comics want to get handsome here.
Then when I got the Jim Jefferies show, I got the teeth done. And now I'm just like, I'm about to do the 1% Club like next week. And do I dye the hair or not? Or do I just go great? Because I'm a TV presenter.
Yeah.
And
you are a game show host now.
I want to be a game show host. You got to, hey, how you going? Nice to meet you. Like that.
Give us a look under there. How's it going today? Because
I got the hat on. So I haven't got much. But the colour isn't where you want it to be. So I went grey during the Jim Jefferies show. Was when I went grey for multiple reasons.
Also, your jacket right now, it looks like it's getting zipped up.
Yeah, I put it from the side because me belly, just hanging me little belly under the bottom there. But that's not bad. I'm fucking 48 next week, man.
Well, this is what's happened to me.
48 in 2 weeks.
I'm 33.
Yeah.
And I went back to Australia about 3 months ago and had my bloods done because I was thinking I've got all sorts of cancers, as I always do. And I found out I have gout.
Yeah, I
which
never
is-
had gout. I'm the king of the hemorrhoids.
Which is like, my doctor goes, has there been any lifestyle changes? I hadn't seen him in years. I said, yeah, I moved to America, man. And he shows me my blood counts, and my folic acid is...
Right. I'll tell you, this is a stand-up routine.
Gout.
The stand-up routine that I used to do that is a true story,
Yeah.
right? So I went and got my blood pressure done. I was living in Britain, and I went and got my blood pressure done. You do the same thing. When you go to Australia, you trust the doctors a little bit more. They're not doing it for profit as much. You get a bit of work done.
And you got a local bloke. The last trip I did semen. This is true. I did semen, shit, blood, urine.
When I'm in Australia, even if there's nothing wrong with me, I take the car over the pits.
100%.
Right?
I went in.
Right?
I went in with a bag full
Yeah.
of bodily fluids
Yeah.
and just dumped it on there and went, I'll just bulk bill that for $50.
Yeah.
Would have bankrupted me here. And it turns out that my semen is too viscous. Can't have kids at the moment because of my bad diet and drinking.
You
and
can
whatnot.
fucking mold my semen into play figures. It's so gelatin-like.
Play-Doh?
Yeah, like so gelatin-like. And I can get a woman pregnant by winking at them.
Well,
so
my
I
doctor
don't know
told
how-
me that my sperm is basically trapped in a tomb of jello.
Oh, no. There's people who have washed my sheets who have gotten pregnant. Anyway, so what was I talking about? So I go to the doctor in Australia, and he does my blood pressure, and he's like this, your blood pressure is too high. We might have to put you on statins or whatever. We have to put you on some tablets.
Right.
Blood pressure's too high, right? And I'm like, oh, all right. So I go back to Britain. He goes, get it tested again when you get home, right? So I go back to England where I'm living. I get my blood pressure done. I get the same results. Right? And he goes, it's within the acceptable guidelines, right? The guidelines in Britain were different, right? So I'm just going to keep on moving to different countries until I'm the healthiest man in Rwanda.
That's the benefit of moving here. The obesity line. If you want to feel good about yourself,
they're gonna be like this. They're gonna be like, oh, you're fine. You haven't even got AIDS yet.
Yeah,
Do you want to join the football team?
the Minister of Health.
Right. So but another time I went and got my blood pressure done in Australia. It was too high, and the doctor was like this. And my family doctor, I've had him my whole life, right? Dr. Pollitt, right? And he's taken my blood pressure, and he goes, yeah, mate, your blood pressure's a bit high. He goes, but it could be for several reasons. Now, he takes care of my whole family. And he said to me, have you been staying with your mother? And I said, yeah. And he goes, that'll be it. That'll be it. That's the family doctor.
He knows her well.
But you have to do physicals before you go on TV, which is so weird because before you do a movie or a TV show or something, the insurance companies have to insure you. And you're not allowed to have anything wrong with you. Throughout history, you're just like, hey, you've been on antidepressants? I'm like, yeah. Oh, well.
No, but I mean, surely everyone that's in TV has got. There's a lot
This
of
is
people
the thing.
with a lot of fucking problems.
Every actor fucking smokes. I don't smoke anymore, right?
Yeah.
Every actor smokes, and they must be saying no because I could say I say I haven't had a drink in 4 years. I haven't had a cigarette.
But I
in
don't
this amount of
understand.
time.
When you say, can't they just test you and go, look at his number? The guy's got emphysema. Who gives a fuck what he's saying?
Well, this is the thing. Chris Farley made movies. John Candy made movies. John Belushi made movies.
Yeah, but insurance was a lot better back then. You know, now he would be uninsurable for a film.
Well,
They would be able to see that in your blood. You'd have to do blood tests.
Stephen Hawking's did a guest appearance on The Big Bang Theory. How did he get through?
Well, I think there was other objections to you being on television.
Right, but anyway, my point is...
They wanted to look at a file and say, we're rejecting you because
There's a lady you go to and she does all the tests and so. And my blood pressure at the moment, because I haven't been drinking or anything, my blood pressure is 117 over 71.
I don't know. I never know what that
That's
means.
like really good.
Yeah.
I'm going to live forever.
You smoke weed.
I don't smoke weed. I have edibles.
Oh, you have edibles.
I don't smoke any. Nothing goes into my lungs except for air.
You have weed and you play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
You're doing all right for chill. You're not digging ditches.
No. I should have good blood pressure. My blood pressure, my heart should have a heart rate of 0, like just 1 beat a minute.
Well, if you did track your heart rate, it would go, there's 2 times a week that you seem to get off the couch. And it's high for gigs. Mm-hmm. And then there's a big come down off that as well.
Well, here's something you might not know about. My hemorrhoids are good until I have to go on stage, and then one of them always wants to pop out. There's something to do with the adrenaline or the pressure.
I got to tell people the best moments of touring with you is I'll be in the green room, and I hear you get your big round of applause, and then you come in and you're about to do a meet and greet, and you might not even know I'm in the room, you immediately put your hand under the back of your ass
and push the hemorrhoid back.
And then you go, my ass fell out on stage. Oh, the blood's going through the jeans. And then within 3 minutes, you've got your arm around a woman who's paid $1,000 for a VIP.
I washed my hands, and also she hasn't paid $300. Don't start spreading those fucking rumours. It's about $80 or something. Anyway, I wash my hands, and the blood's only come out a couple of times, but I do wear black jeans on stage for that express reason. You'll never see me in a white suit like I'm out of a fucking boy band. You look behind, oh, he's got some opinions on Japan, does he?
Have you ever done it on stage where you've had to put the hemorrhoid back in?
I've started talking a lot. No, I just sit on it like, you know when you're a kid and you had that.
Is that why you have the seat?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of reasons behind the seat, but the seat, no, it's not. It's better standing than sitting.
No, but there's that donut cut into it, you know.
No.
I've seen on there.
You're being Nazi. What's happening at this moment, Amos?
Oh, we're moving on from that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk shit about Spokane quickly because we were in Spokane.
What was wrong with Spokane?
No, I loved Spokane. Denver, my favorite city in America.
Denver's a banger for comedy. Banger. Too much snow for me, but like I grew up in the heat.
I think we could probably start ranking when we tour the worst tourist attractions, and the gondola in Spokane would have to be right up there.
Okay, the folks in Spokane, they agreed with me. I talked about this on stage.
Yeah, this isn't mean-spirited.
I'm not speaking out of turn here, right? But they have a waterfall in the center of Spokane. We were in the hotel over the road from the waterfall. The waterfall's a little tiny one. The waterfall is probably the reason that Spokane exists. They use
hydro plant,
hydroelectricity. Yeah. And it has a waterfall. It has a couple of little moments, and there's a bridge with a whole lot of arches. Someone put up a picture now, Jack. Jack's not with us today, but if you're listening, of this thing, and it has gondolas, on the cable car gondolas, right?
Yeah.
Where you sit in them, and they could fit 4 people in each one. Me and you went on there. We went down there. I paid $15 a ticket. Didn't see Amos reach for his fucking wallet, even though we're splitting it half and half this podcast. But it turns out on the road I still pay for his gondola rides. Anyway, so we go down to the gondola. I would have bought it for you anyway. You're a good boy. Anyway, so I go down to the gondola, right? And then they were surprised that someone was purchasing it.
Not just surprised, there was a guy who has to run the gondola who came out of what was definitely an afternoon nap.
Yeah.
He was angry that we were there.
He's like, it's very cold. He ran down. He's like, all right. He goes, it's a 20-minute ride. So 20 minutes, you think to yourself, this is going to be something.
I thought it would go for about 5 miles around the town.
Yeah, I thought it would go all the way down the river and then circle back and they'll go all the way down the river.
A kilometre maximum.
No.
Less? 500 metres.
300 metres. 300 metres from end to end. 300 metres max.
The best part about this...
Someone can Google this right away, but the gondola is 300 metres, so a 600-metre round trip.
And it says on there, there's a QR code, and it says, scan this to get information. And we thought, well, that's boring. We don't need to do that. If you ever go on the gondola, scan it.
You need to find out what's going on.
Because it sits there for 10 minutes in the middle doing nothing.
So all it is a waterfall that falls down into a bit where people have put trash and a few other bits of debris have been dropped, and they're just circling around. So you'll see like a Burger King cup and a basketball and some other bits of litter.
I would like people, by the way, to send to us. Let's put together a list of worst tourist attraction in America.
We'll just keep going to tourist attractions when we go to different cities, and we'll rank.
Well, it's leading at the moment at number one for
us. The gondola ride in Spokane. Anyway, so freezing cold. You go out there. It stops a bit so you can watch it. Now, the weird thing about it is, you think you would go gondola 20 metres, gondola 20 metres, gondola 20 metres.
The big part of a gondola is wanting to see what's outside.
See what's outside, but they put us in. They're in batches of 3, and these gondolas are maybe 3 metres apart.
Not
right?
even.
You're not even about 2 metres apart, and you can't see past the gondola in front of you. So that's how I know why they do it. So you can't see how short the ride is. You only know the ride's short when you start turning around.
Yeah, only in the front cart you get it, and they never put you in the front cart. They put you in the back.
Yeah, they put you in the back.
And you get to look out the sides. Other than that, Spokane, very, very good.
Great crowds.
What you do with Jim, by the way, when you travel, we haven't taken a flight together in a long time. Mm-hmm. Jim buys trading cards.
Yeah.
This is what we're going to transition into. You buy trading cards and you surprise yourself on a plane by opening up your baseball cards
Yeah.
as a way to pass the time. So
Yeah.
you sit there ripping the cards.
Yeah, I look super autistic when I do it, but I
pull out a little box.
I get a box of maybe a $300, $200 box of sports cards, and I sit there and I rip into them, right? And I go, this guy, yeah, that's Aaron Judge. Ooh, that one's worth a bit. And then I put it in like a plastic sleeve, and I go tap, 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 tap on the sleeve, and then I put them through. What's your problem? What are you trying to say?
No, I went and watched with you.
Yeah.
You went to a store here in Burbank, and I didn't know the sort of money for these baseball cards. I was slightly aware that you buy a pack,
Yeah.
and it's random,
Yeah.
right? And it's like the Willy Wonka golden ticket thing. You don't know what you're going to get in
Yeah,
there.
it's a bit of fun, yeah.
Okay, so you took me to a store. I wasn't that interested because I'm not a big baseball guy. I don't mind it, so I don't really know.
Any sports. It does any sports.
And sports. And then because of you, my algorithm has changed with all the baseball talk. You know, when you're talking about a topic, all of a sudden it starts to pop up on your phone. I got sent this by my algorithm, which I thought was a lie at the beginning. And this is a story that's happening at the moment. Can we get a picture? This is the Topps baseball card company's secret card for the year. Mm-hmm. For those who aren't watching, it's Robert J. Oppenheimer smoking a pipe, and they've attached his signature, which is randomly included in a baseball card pack yet to be discovered.
Yeah, well, it might have been discovered because those packs came out at the moment. The pack that comes in is a box that has about 20 cards in it, and it's worth about, correct me if I'm wrong, about $3,000.
But
right?
all I could think when I saw this was, somewhere is a Japanese child that loves Shohei Ohtani and has bought a batch of trading cards, and he's like, Dad, I didn't get Ohtani, but I got, who's this? Oppenheimer.
Well,
and the dad's got to go, he was the Hiroshima hitter.
Well, they should have behaved better in the war. But
what's his stats at the back?
So, okay, no, but they've got Marilyn Monroe cards, and you can get there's lots of people throughout history. I was watching someone do a break the other day, I just watched them online, just like a kit, like an unboxing.
Oh, you watch unboxings, yeah.
Yeah, late at night sometimes. Yeah. And I saw someone get Cy Young, which is like the Cy Young Award or the picture. And it was just that autograph was in the same batch of that one. But there's Marilyn Monroe, there's him,
John Hancock,
there's Freddie Mercury, there's John Hancock. You'll get ones, you'll get fucking Washington and shit, man. You'll get like old Babe Ruths and stuff like that. But then there's some of them that they try to go, Freddie Mercury. And it's like, you can buy a Freddie Mercury autograph picture for $250.
What?
Right? So it's a shitty little card. I'm not into those cards. I like just straight up sports cards. I don't even care about the autographs that much. I just like, that's a cool picture. That if I was a kid and I'd open that, I'd be up over the moon. And I sort of got back into it because my son started collecting sports cards, and I got the little.
What's the best you got? Or you do not say because you don't want a home invasion.
None of your business. No, I don't have that. The best ones I've got aren't in my house.
What, you keep them in a vault?
I keep them in a vault. Yeah, the best ones. But I don't have like real.
Well,
big...
that's your fucking Bitcoin. Is it? It's like worth proper value. Like
yeah,
$1,000.
Like if you get a Fleur Jordan rookie card,
right,
in a 9, that's worth $14,000, man.
But I want to tap down on that. Why would they include Oppenheimer? Like, it seems so strange to me.
Because
the creator of the atomic bomb.
No, because it sells, and because Oppenheimer, right? Let's go. He probably signed 1,000 documents, and there's all these bits of bullshit bits of paper that he signed. Hiroshima, yes, right? Or
Nagasaki. Do we need to? Didn't they learn the lesson the first time?
Yeah. More radiation glasses needed for tests. Right? So he does all that. And so all these documents are sitting around. All they do is they just cut out the bottom bit, put it in the thing. Like, the guy's dead.
Oh, no, but he's like borderline on the nose. Like, what about the Führer?
Would you not take a if there was a Hitler autograph, would you not?
Oh, no, I'd only want Hitler's rookie card when he was a painter. It's like, yeah, that's it. It's actually one he painted of himself. That's valuable.
See, everyone always wants to go back in history.
What about dictator cards?
No, they want to go back in history. Well, see, I own a pretty good O.J. Simpson card. He's not a good dude.
Why don't we just do like serial killer cards then?
People do that shit, man. There's horror cards and stuff. Yeah,
really?
For sure, yeah.
What, if you got like a Dharma?
People, there would. No, I haven't seen him, but that would be a thing.
That sounds like that can't go ahead.
You could,
Like you could do Idi Amin.
because they put relics in cards. So you have like a card, and it'll have like a little bit of someone's jersey or something like that. You could put a bit of, a bit of Dharma's freezer.
What, this is a woman's fingernail?
No, not the dead. That's very morbid. But you could definitely get a bit of Dharma's work badge from the chocolate shop he worked in.
Yeah, because the stats on the back is. Because
they always say about Jeffrey Dahmer. They go, the Jesse Jackson got involved, and they said that all the killings were racially activated, racially motivated. God, I'm a moron today. Okay, so racially motivated. They weren't racially motivated. It just so happens that he was attracted to black men, right? That's why most of them were black men. He wasn't that he was racist. It was quite the opposite. You didn't want to be liked by him, right? Because I'll tell you why it's not racist, because no one ever called him homophobic, and almost all of them were gay. Two of them weren't.
They were just unlucky. That was his flavour.
Yeah, but no one ever came in and went, oh, this seems very homophobic, all these murders.
Yeah, on the hierarchy of his problems.
Yes.
Racism and homophobia was further down.
Yeah, no, he wasn't racist or homophobic.
We'll give him that.
Yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due.
We wouldn't want to slander him.
Yeah. Did you see? I saw a clip the other day. I always follow earthquakes clips, but if we could put
Do you mean a comedian?
Earthquake the comedian. He always that's how I get my news is Earthquake, right? He always puts up little things that's going on in the world. And there's this bloke who it's like a serial killer. I sent you this.
You
clip.
sent me this, yeah.
Yeah, put this clip up now.
What's going on, man? Okay, so parents have some concerns of some stuff they may have found in your room?
Yeah, I believe so.
And what would it be?
A human head and hands.
Like, for real human head and hands?
Yes.
From?
That fellow who went missing recently.
Which fellow was that?
Warren Brown.
Warren Brown? When did he go missing?
The night of the 27th.
The night of the 27th? Okay, and how did you end up with him?
I murdered him.
With what?
A knife.
Why would you have done that?
I've always wondered what murder felt like.
Like that, right? Man, how fucking scary is that cat when he just goes, it's a human head and hands. He changes from this meek 19-year-old to that fella that went missing. That was like, I don't know if I've ever seen evil. Like,
well, if you're a serial killer and you're getting interviewed by the news, that is your big moment.
that's your last
That's
go.
the last time you see. Maybe on the sentencing you get another chance, but you've got to, you know what I mean? One shot, one opportunity.
Yeah.
To go down in serial killer history.
Mum
is the
spaghetti.
arrest. It's Mum spaghetti. Okay.
All right.
But I was fascinated about you doing the cards because.
You know what I like about collector cards?
It's
and
just
the same thing I like about things. Like so people collect watches, and the thing about watches
It's too
is
much money.
But watches is the thing about watching. And I have a couple of watches.
Yeah,
I don't have many.
you're a
I have
watch
like
guy.
I have like two.
I got a
watches,
Casio.
right? I got one that I always wear and one other one. Right now, the thing about the watches is that they're made intricate. They're made sturdy and they're solid, and the engineering that goes into them and the technology and the fine craftsmanship and the fact that they're still done by hand with someone just putting in with little bloody toothpicks, putting a little spring in there and all that type of stuff. And they work perfectly. That's what the beauty of the watch is, right? It's the engineering. All that type of stuff. You know what the beauty of collector cards is? They're fucking worthless.
Well, it's only what you read into it. But so is a watch, ultimately.
But so's Bitcoin.
Everything's worthless.
So's a $100 bill is quintessentially worthless, right?
Well, that's the fascinating thing about life. I mean, there was one period in time where...
It's only worth something because we say it's worth something.
Tulips were once... we have the tulip bust in Denmark. People were trading with tulips. It's just whatever people at that moment... Like spices.
Well, but the fact...
If you have spices in your house today and you're like a poor person, at one period of time, people would have spent...
that's
$20,000 for cinnamon.
That's half the reason for the British Empire, right?
Yeah, millions. Like so many people died for you to go. How long have we had that in the cupboard?
Yeah,
throw it out.
Yeah, and then you have the audacity to call them herbs. It's got an H on it.
What is that?
Americans call them herbs.
Herbs.
Herbs. They don't say herbs.
Okay.
Herbs and spices.
Put that down on
they say herbs and spices. Herbs.
Yeah, the
What's wrong with them? Why would they do that? Herbs.
So do you know what I collect?
Oh, you collect fridge magnets.
Yeah, this is my new thing.
And you have the audacity to sit there and just go like this. I find it really interesting that you collect these bits of cardboard that people all over the world collect. And then it's like, what does Amos Gill collect? Fridge magnets from towns that I've visited. I go to a different town and then to remember it. And me and the girlfriend, you've told me this, we have a ceremony where I put the fridge magnet up there and she claps. Fucking hell.
We get home and she goes, what's the haul? And I lay them out, and then she sits there, and we like go, where does it go? And then we maneuver them around.
But you're trying to have like a story going on.
We have a story of where we've been together through.
Why don't you try to do it as a map of the country?
I could do that. I've already out of space. I'm onto the dishwasher at the minute, so I'm gonna have to.
You're putting them on your wife. He's not even married. He's onto the dishwasher. She washes the dishes.
And this one, Spokane, I got a pickup truck.
Yeah,
it was pretty. They were pretty fucking ordinary, but I just take pictures of them and send.
Why didn't you get the
Annika.
cable cards? Why didn't you go on the cable?
They
cards?
didn't have a bloody gondola. They've given up on the gondola.
Yeah, they know it's a shit, right? If you're in Spokane, take a photo of the gondola for you.
Right, I want to move on to some other things.
We haven't talked about anything yet.
I'm making news. Yeah. Well,
what's happening at this moment?
A few stories that are happening at this moment. There's one that I wanted to do with you, which I thought I'm finding very fun. So there's a lot of people discussing this nation of Greenland.
Yes.
Which is part of Denmark.
Yep.
And Donald Trump keeps sort of insinuating, A, that he wants to take Canada. That's been his joke. It's the 51st state. And I was just in Canada. And you actually asked the crowd, and I'd say 75% furious, 25% they want it, because they think it's good for their economy. Because the GDP of Canada, if it was a state, would still be the smallest economy, even worse than Mississippi.
But they have diamonds and shit there.
Yeah, they're useless at extracting their own goods, apparently.
They found diamonds for the first time in the 1990s. Did you know that?
Where?
So my wife's engagement ring my wife wanted an ethical diamond. Right?
So what, a Canadian guy that drinks Tim Hortons was the ethical way?
Okay, well don't tell her. Right? She's like, oh, I don't want a blood diamond. So she was like, my wife's so batshit crazy. She said something, I want an engagement tree. She wanted a potted tree that we could see grow in the house, right? I get
the symbolism of it.
And I'm like, I'm not doing the tree. Yeah. I said, I'll get you a ring. And she goes, well, I don't want a blood diamond. And I go, not all diamonds are blood diamonds, right? A lot of diamonds come from Australia. I said to her, we haven't got blood diamonds going on in Australia, right? And she goes, and I go, if I get you a ring at Tiffany's, they'll give you a certificate. You'll know exactly where the diamond's from. And it won't be, a blood thing, right? Anyway, so I get one, and this one's from Canada, right? And so I tell her it's not a blood thing. It turns out they might have fucked over a lot of Inuits to get it, right? Because
everything's blood something eventually when you look back at it enough.
Their diamonds are way up in the top of Canada, and they can only mine them for a couple of months out of the year because the ice has to melt, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't know that they had any diamonds until the mid-90s.
They left them in the freezer at the back.
Yeah, and now they have tons of them up the top there. That means that the first bloke to find diamonds in Canada, plausibly, was listening to Nirvana, right, and going, I got to get home to see what's happening with Ross and Rachel. I reckon they were on a break. Hey, I tell you.
And where did you get this advertised to? Because it doesn't sound sexy Canadian diamond. It sounds
to my wife.
It sounds like something that was made in a lab.
My wife wants to know that the diamond was cut by a bloke like, okay, let's go, diamond we go.
Some lucky lady's going to love this one, eh?
Yeah, hey, that's a shiny one for sure now. I'm going to put it inside a Timbit and propose to my wife.
It's a Jim bit.
It's a Timbit.
So I saw that, the Canadians are on the fence, but mostly fucking angry.
No, Canada's a great country, man. Canada doesn't have to be part of America. Canada can stand on its own 2 feet.
Sure.
The Canadian, okay, you're saying you always go on about different things. You said something to me the other day about Australia.
Well, I'm a little offended that they're not asking to want to buy Australia. Like, you think Canada's better than Australia? I'd fucking take Australia.
I was saying to you the other day that during COVID, that Australia gave more money to their citizens than all the other countries, right? Because Australia got a lot of flack for arrests and the lock-in laws. But actual money-wise, they got a lot more money than Americans did. And then you being all bloody right-wingy, fucked our economy. The Australian economy goes the same way all the bloody time. It's the same as New Zealand. It's the same as Canada. We're at the mercy of what's going on with the American economy.
Also the Chinese, because they buy... The Australian economy is, I found a rock, and then the Chinese buy it, and then they
Yes.
stop buying it, unfortunately.
Yes, I
for a
think
while.
Canada can say the Canadians, they don't want to join America. It would be nice if they had a relationship where they could go back and forth like we have. Okay, so Australia and New Zealand, our passports are reciprocal, right? I can go live in New Zealand, and New Zealanders can go live in Australia. That's a thing. I think Canadians would like that, to have the option, but I still think they would like to keep their
Jim,
sovereignty.
I can't tell you how fucking angry I was as a Commonwealth person, and you'd know this bloody well. As an Australian,
Yeah.
in my passport, I had pictures of the Queen. We have their flag on our flag, and then when I try and go to
But
the
it was
UK,
a picture of her fisting herself in the anus. That's why they got.
well, I shouldn't have drawn that in there.
Yeah, yeah.
That was found offensive at the border and
Oh, that's
control
a bit
immigration.
rough,
man.
that, isn't it? Isn't it? She
What
had
you
big-
done that there for? What
Yeah,
you doodling that about
Yeah,
the Queen?
fucking Lizzie had big hands and all, didn't she?
I mean, the work is very good. You got talent, but that's very disrespectful.
Yeah, fucking. You know the difference between yogurt and Australians? Yogurt has culture.
No, but I did go in there a few times and we couldn't get the work permits. Had to line up for like an hour and a half. And, you know, my girlfriend has a German passport. And when they
yes.
were in the EU, straight through.
Yeah, straight through.
And
No.
you go, well,
And
hold on.
Australia-
Her grandfather was in the Luftwaffe bombing this city.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Fucking
I've been in Britain so many times. Like we're meant to be mates.
we've subjugated ourselves to be Britain's bitch.
Mind you, we made their people fruit pick.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know this about the English, and we stopped it after Brexit because we've got closer ties with. So after Brexit, after the United Kingdom left Europe, they had to make some other ties for trades, and they made some ties with Canada and Australia. We've got closer relationships now than ever. It's easier to travel between the three countries than it has ever been, right? Yeah. Without permit, with permits.
Now the Gold Coast just has about 10,000 Geordie Shore people.
Yes. Well, they were always.
I like it here.
They were just like that, but with a different accent, weren't they?
It's so nice here. What are you complaining about?
That's not
Gold
Geordie.
Coast?
That's not Geordie. That's Southern. You're doing Southern.
No, I'm just
Geordie's
saying,
like, day number 5 in the Big Brother house. That's the voice.
I'm just doing any old British scrag. They all came and became PTs. A lot of these British lads came over, and the British lads. They either go to Dubai or to Australia. They're those kinds of like PT guys.
Yeah.
They flooded our country. But yeah, there's no.
Says us living in America. Oh,
we flooded
the immigration
America.
that's going over there is terrible right now.
But that's not even what I wanted to discuss. The one
Okay.
that gets my attention the most,
Sure.
which I just have been having a lot of fun with, just talking with a lot of my mates, is the idea of the purchase of Greenland. And when you immediately say America and Donald Trump wants to buy Greenland, it's like scoffed at as something that someone on coke would come up with. Like, can we just buy a country?
No, people have done this.
You know? So I just wanted to go with you over the history of purchasing countries.
Okay.
So first of all,
it's not even country. Sometimes it's
Well, just
like the
territories.
Louisiana type of, okay.
yes. So to lay the land on the Greenland thing, I was reading about. So the local people there are subjects of the Danish. The Danish
Right.
have owned it for 800 years,
Okay.
and many of them want freedom from Denmark.
They like dairy more than any other nation. Did you know that?
The Danes.
I learned some things off the I don't know about that podcast. The Danes have the biggest dairy intake.
Well, they give
bones.
600 million a year they give to Greenland as a loss leader.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Greenland has a lot of natural resources.
Right.
And obviously Donald Trump intends to drill, baby, drill, which means the fossil fuels are going to probably add to climate change. So as a long play, he might make Greenland green again by melting the snow cap. So it's a good real estate play.
You
in that
believe
regard.
in climate change? I believe in climate change.
Yeah.
I do. Okay, good.
But
I
I
like
think-
when you
but
have
I-
some
but I
lefty
think-
views on you. I like that. That was good. That was very good of you.
That's
very good of you
Don't
to-
liberal pat me on the head.
To believe in basic science. Well done, you. Carry on.
But they've got. What do you know about Greenland? Let me ask you that.
Lots of trees, I imagine.
And there's 55,000 people there, and they did a straw poll of a few, about 2,000, and said, "How do you feel?"
That was actually when they pulled straw out of each hands.
It's a very old system.
Yeah. The one who got the shortest ones gets to be their prime minister.
So they said, "How would you feel about joining America?" But it was a two-pronged question. The first part was, "Do you want to leave?"
Okay,
Denmark.
Would it be like USA Samoa? Like it would be a territory, right? It would be a territory.
Well, the deal that I read, which to me sounds amazing, was they buy it off the Danish
Yes.
for God knows how many billion it was, but each citizen, and there's 55,000 of them, would be given $100K and US citizenship. So all of a sudden, you've got $100,000 as like you're an investor in a company, and you just got bought out by a bigger company. So they get $100,000, and now they're looked after as part of the US. Because China's been sniffing around. They tried to build an airport.
Can they come in there and take away your houses? Say we need this land because it's you have to be removed.
I think they really just want to go in there and take the natural resources which are trapped under ice that cost a lot of money. And that's why Elon Musk and all the tech bros are excited about this, is because for their EV cars, there's like a lot of rare earths up there. Okay. And I had an idea that I think why we should buy Greenland.
Me and you?
No, the country of America.
We could get it together.
This is how I think we could get cross consensus of left wing and right wing people on the purchase.
Okay.
We rename it Green Card Land, and every immigrant that wants to come to America has to go there first. So me included. You've got to do 3 years of hard labor on Greenland to make that country into something. And only if you last 3 years in Green Card Land do you get the green card. And then you move to like Alaska. It's like gateways. And then you go down slowly. So that's like your purgatory.
I came through the proper channels. Right. Yeah, I get you.
Because we're going to need labor.
Okay, because you have countries where you have to go into the military and you have to do things. And the Australians, when British people came to Australia, they had to pick fruit for about 2 months or something. And after they finished fruit picking, they were allowed out into the country because we don't have illegal immigrants coming over to pick our fruit, right? Okay, so what you're saying actually has some strange merit to it.
How much do you want it? Go to Green Card Land and make that city, like, because let's be frank, the history of every place in America, I mean, it takes cheap labor to build beautiful things. I mean, every country on earth has exploited labor. I'm here saying I want a green card and it's not forthcoming. Send me to Green Card Land and I will do whatever they fucking tell me to do.
Well, you don't do hard labor. You could be the bloke.
Building.
You could work behind a bar or something. You just have to contribute to the economy and not be unemployed.
Mate, I think living in Nook, the city in Greenland, is pretty fucking hard labor. It doesn't seem...
Nook.
It's a lot.
Is that the name of the thing?
Nook. Nook.
That's fucking...
Nook. Who's there?
Sounds bloody racist, doesn't it? Bloody all these nooks everywhere. Fucking, you can't get anything done with all the nooks.
Man, I live in Greenland. It's all right, but the nooks... But I think other countries would like to do the purchase.
With a nook, paddy whack.
The Chinese want to buy it. How about this for a system? The United Nations auctions it off. Highest bidder.
Well, isn't that what's basically going on?
No, because America's just going, we're going to fucking, you'll listen to what we say.
So you're saying America's doing a hostile takeover where they're...
The company, yeah.
Where they're trying to go, and here you get paid out, here's severance.
Yeah. Like all the people that live there, they're going, fuck Denmark off. What have they done for you?
Okay, do you think the Danes are going to have a military pushback? Is it going to be like the Falklands, for example? Because with the Falklands, that was one of those things where you were like, what are you up to? What's the problem, Britain?
They wanted what's on the Falklands. That you know what that was? That was Britain going, we've already lost everything. We're not losing this.
Yeah. The Falklands was just having one little argument at the end.
It was like a petulant cry.
Like someone who's got divorced and they're like, I'm taking this mug. This is my mug.
Because
I was the one who got it.
Queen Elizabeth had looked at the map and saw everything she lost under her reign, and she thought, "Give me."
I don't want to speak because I know people lost their lives in the Falklands, and and Prince Andrew no longer sweats afterwards, so he went through his bloody tragedy there.
So I'll go through the list of territories purchased.
Okay.
So the Isle of Man.
Yeah, the Isle of Man. Yeah, the Isle of Man has the TT races. And my dear friend Rob Heaney comes from the Isle of Man. He's the only comedian to come from the Isle of Man. Give it up for Rob Heaney.
Who do you think the Scots bought that from?
Oh, I thought it was owned by the English, but the Scots would have bought that from the Irish, right?
They bought it from Norway.
What? How? That's not even near Norway, because the Isle of Man's in between Ireland and Wales.
Vikings have been in there.
Okay, all right, yeah, okay.
So they bought it for 4,000 marks sterling.
Yeah. What year?
1266.
Yeah, that went a lot further back then. Went a lot further. Not like today. 4,000 mark sterlings only gets you a couple of gets you a watch or something. But back then it was a lot of money.
So we go to 1662. Dunkirk.
Yeah.
The French bought that off England.
Really?
That was 5 million livres.
Okay, but Dunkirk is actually attached to France. It's a beach off France.
Yes, but you know how the French and English, it was like they had French kings and English kings that ruled over Brittany, and it was a very complicated period, so not that interesting, that one. Okay, what about Estonia, Livonia, Ingria, and southwest Finland?
What? Why Estonia and Finland aren't the same thing? Why am I?
Southeast Finland. It's called Keksholmulsan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Russians bought that from Sweden.
Okay.
That was 1721. St. Croix, Denmark and Norway bought that from France. And now we get to something more recent. Louisiana.
Bought from the French.
Bought from the French. How much do you reckon you'd pay for Louisiana?
The Louisiana Purchase. I've learned. I think I did a podcast on this. I can't remember, but it wasn't much.
This is your new podcast. I still don't know about that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Didn't we talk about that?
I've learnt this, but I can't remember. But it wasn't a lot of money.
15 million USD.
Yeah.
1803 that was.
Yeah. Okay. So in today's money, what's that? $1 billion?
Yeah, I'm not a maths guy, but
1 billion?
Florida.
Fucking someone is there a buyer?
Spain had that.
Yeah.
Sold it when?
It would have been before Louisiana. We had that. The Louisiana. No, it was after.
No, it was after.
Oh, crikey.
1819.
That was an organic crikey, everyone. You don't hear them very often. I hope you enjoyed it.
5 million.
Yeah.
So they paid 10 million more for Louisiana.
Well,
I think they got fucking ripped on that.
It didn't fucking have Disney World yet, did it? Like Orlando was just a swamp.
Yeah, it's got. Well, so is Louisiana. Fucking hell. Singapore.
Singapore was bought from China by the Singapore. I thought Singapore was independently owned. Who bought Singapore?
The UK bought it off Johor.
Oh, that whore.
Johor.
You and your whore.
Johor.
Yeah.
Johor for 60,000 Spanish dollars in 1824. Then
Okay, so what's the last purchase in the world?
Well, you want to know the most recent one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought, well, that just ended. And now it's like war, and then you take the land. But the idea of like doing a deal is,
I think
is very
there's
rare.
nothing. Buying land is buying land.
Yeah.
I'm a property owner. You know, it's what you do.
I imagine if you're buying, let's say that you wanted to sell off an island, it'd be like buying and selling a house where you've got to go to the locals and say, listen, the Chinese are coming to buy us. Can you get all the homeless off the streets? It's like they're going to be there between 12 and 4.
All right.
We're set dressing. We're going to fly some beautiful people in, so it looks like it's a good neighbourhood.
Me and you live back in Australia, right? Australia's being purchased. Who do you want to buy it?
Well, I think China's already bought a lot of it. So that's why
they've bought a lot of the land in total.
They've already bought China's buying so much land that when we hand over the deed, they'll go, it's not even yours to hand over to whatever country.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I'd prefer America to China.
Or Britain.
Fuck the British. No.
You don't want the British?
I'd rather the Americans than the British.
But
the British got
get
nothing.
You get the healthcare.
The healthcare won't pay for itself soon. They're all fucking old. That's why they've fled. The NHS is collapsing. They got no fucking money.
No. But we're still Australia. We still have to pay taxes within the country. It just means that someone else owns it.
We should align.
It's not like we're going to be living off the tax dollars of the British. It would just be the name. Would still be. We should be a republic, right? Everyone knows we should be a republic. Not everyone. Oh God, people get so upset. It's the only time my mother stopped talking to me was when I voted republic. My mother was a monarchist. Stopped talking to me for a couple of months.
I've told you this many times.
It was worth it.
Any like right wing Australian that loves
should have voted 4 or 5 times
the monarchy.
Yeah.
It's like, what kind of a cuck country are you to have another nation's flag on your flag?
Yeah. No, we agree on this.
When you go to the Olympic Games. You go to the Olympic Games and you're like, we're Australia, we're better than you. And then we wave our flag and it has their flag on it. It's humiliating.
Well, okay, so right now we're recording this episode on Australia Day, right? Is it the 26th today?
No, that was yesterday, mate.
Oh, okay. So, it doesn't matter.
The bloody patriot next to me here.
Yesterday was Australia Day. Australia Day 26, very controversial thing. I am a fan of Australia Day. Maybe they should move it to a different day. The problem is it's the date that the white people came in, and so a lot of people call it Invasion Day. And I understand how that can be hard for people but when push comes to shove, countries are always going to be colonised and that type of stuff. You want to have a day where the whole country comes together. So maybe move it to a different day, or wait till there's
Independence Day,
a republic. We become our own republic, and then we have Republic Day or Independence Day. But I mentioned it in front of a crowd full of Americans the other day because someone went, "Happy Australia Day, Jim," from the crowd. And I just sort of said, oh, well, it's a bit controversial these days. A lot of people think it's Invasion Day, blah, 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 blah. I personally still celebrate Australia Day. But I found it quite offensive that the Americans were all like, oh, the day that it was invaded. Fuck off. Like Thanksgiving, there was never a pleasant meal. No way in the world was that meal them sitting down, and they were all like, come here, Pocahontas, enjoy the yams.
Enjoy these blankets.
Yeah,
We had a few fellas coughing them.
Yeah.
On the way
That was
over.
mean-spirited type of humour. I was
Yes.
just trying to make a point.
Well, that's the point is, and this is how I feel about Australia Day, which is everyone's very angry about it, and they say change the date. Now, the reality of the situation is that's not what they're really saying. What they're really saying is we don't want to celebrate Australia at all, because if you change the date and call it Australia Day, it still represents dispossession of the land. So you're not really asking for a changing of the date, because the new date would mean the exact same thing.
No, it doesn't have to, though. But I would like it to shut some people up.
I'm sick of fucking hearing about it.
I'm sick of hearing about it, yeah. Because when I was a kid, Australia Day was just
Because I'm an immigrant to Australia. My family loves Australia. We came from Yugoslavia.
Also, I say to all the people who hate Australia Day, all right, get rid of it then. You don't get that day off. It's one extra day holiday. Why are you complaining about a day off? Even racists like Martin Luther King Day. You get what I'm saying?
Are you saying don't look a gift horse in the mouth?
Yeah, it's a day off work. It's like the one thing, like, if we become a republic, we get the Queen's birthday off, right? I still want to celebrate that. I'm not a monarchist, but I'm all for her birthday.
Mate, just because, she's dead. So
Yeah, but we haven't. It's always the same day.
King's
The King's birthday. I'll do anyone's birthday. I'll do all the royal family's birthdays.
Yeah,
I'll
mate.
celebrate them. I'll bloody put the picture of them up on the bloody wall. Give me a day off work.
Jim, you're coming in to
I'll
film
do Zara Phillips' birthday.
Are you coming in to do the 1% Club today? Oh, I would, but the Sultan of Brunei just turned 50.
Yeah. Prince Andrew, it's his 17th birthday. Well, not him, but the person.
He's fucking, yeah. All right, so let's go to the most recent purchase.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
They purchased Tiran Island and Sanafir Island. Don't know them very well. Haven't seen them on Expedia for holiday packs. They bought it off Egypt for $22 billion in oil and development aid. It's 113 square kilometres, and it was done in 2017. 22 fucking billion for the
How did
Tiran.
that not make the news? It probably did make the news.
well, yeah.
Was that a big story? Do you remember that happening?
I don't remember uproar.
Yeah.
I certainly haven't heard free Tiran. There's probably a rally somewhere in downtown LA.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
have a look.
I haven't heard about that. Are people
Tiran
angry or
Island.
upset? Because I don't imagine.
Have a look at it.
Because Egypt, they're not.
It just looks
it's
like-
beautiful.
Looks like it's probably just where the sheikhs go to fucking do some horrible things.
It looks all right. Looks crystal clear waters. Got a few broken boats.
Oh, there'd be quite a few global prostitutes on some yachts around
You're always suspicious. You're never happy. Never happy.
there. Mate, don't you go on the Reddit threads about women that go to Saudi Arabia?
Oh, what happens there?
Oh, I think they do there's some nefarious activities.
Oh, and the people on Reddit know, do they?
they poo on them. You know,
People on Reddit.
You've never gone down these rabbit holes where the sheikhs are paying women to take a dump on them.
I'm sure they're doing it, but there's regular people who pay women to have a shit on them.
Regular people. What, Norman Rockwell painting people are taking a
No,
shit?
I'm just saying that look, you don't know what anyone's sexual kink is unless you are in the room with their sexual kink.
So if I told you, Jim, here's the thing about me.
I've never shit
I
on
want
anyone.
to shit on someone.
There would be if you saw a shit coming out my asshole and the fucking prolapsed fucking hemorrhoid coming out, that woman's that's not fun for anyone.
The level of therapy.
Yeah.
Because
No.
Because you've got, the hemorrhoids. Has your wife seen?
No, I tell her not to look. She asked to look once. I said, no.
It's like
We
the
still have-
predator's mouth.
We still have to have some magic. I told you, I'd make a movie out of it where you'd start close up on it and you go, oh, that's a lovely rose. And then you'd pull out and then you go, what? Oh! Beautiful opening to a film.
Okay, so we can go to the next topic. Greenland, what you say we should try and put in the bid?
I haven't got enough information to see whether this
I don't know how much information you can really
No,
get.
but you know what I mean? I would like to speak to some people from Greenland or watch some Greenland news or something. What you're saying sounds like a pretty fair deal.
CNN, the Central Nook Network.
Yeah. The Nick Nack Nui Network coming to you live.
The Nook Times.
Nook Times. Nook.
If there's any Nook journalists out there, I want to know the truth. Do you like Denmark? Are they colonizers?
Is that where we invented the Nook?
I don't know
Like
what-
in the corner of a
Oh, yeah,
kitchen?
in the corner, yeah, because it's the corner of the planet.
Yeah. It's
Get into
only
the
a
Nook.
little nook.
He's hiding in the Nook.
Yeah. So anyway, any Nooks who want to speak to me, any Nooktobians, Nookians?
Nookets?
Nookets, yeah.
That's the chicks.
Any Nookets who want to talk to me and tell me their point of view, I'm here to learn.
Okay, now speaking of Australia and Australia Day, everyone has been celebrating, the elements of our, well, not everyone, but the people that are celebrating are putting together a list, and news.com.au did a survey of 2,000 Aussies about what our national dish was.
Yep.
I thought I'd get your reaction to this. Number one.
Yes.
What do you think?
Meat pie.
You would say the meat pie.
Meat pie.
24% of the country agrees with you.
Meat pie is our national dish, and we do it better than anyone. Other countries make pies. New Zealanders seem to go on like their pies are better than ours. They're not, but they're good pies in New Zealand. The British, I don't know where they've gone wrong because they sell pies, but they're horrendous.
But they do like a slice of like a big slab of the shit.
No. They'll sell you a pie.
Pork pie.
Pork pies are dreadful with like jelly around them, and then you eat them cold from a gas station.
It's like a terrine sandwich.
Like I eat them. Anyway. So, and then they had another one called Pucker Pies, this company called Pucker Pies, which you put it in, and Pucker Pies are fucking dog shit, man. Anywho, the Australian pie with a bit of tomato sauce or ketchup to you Americans is one of my favourite meals, and I found a place locally that did them. There was a guy that used to come
Miss Melbourne Pies, they're all right.
There was a guy that used to come down to Fork-in Pies, right? Fork-in Pies, right? Fork-in Pies. They were the best pies, and he used to do them with mushy peas and like mashed potato.
But that's not Aussie.
It is if you go to...
Fuck off. A mushy pie's got no place in a pie in Australia. That's your...
Go to Harry's Cafe to Wheels, my friend.
That's Sydney shit, mate.
Yeah, it's not... Go to Queensland. They love a mushy pea. Up in Queensland, my father was eating those as a child, just in your pompous little fucking city of churches.
Balfours and Villies all the way. Just a basic steak pie. With the tomato sauce,
all for
squeezy pack.
I hardly ever do a pea floater. You never had a floater?
Well, we have a pie floater in Australia, but I think they're shit. In South Australia, we've got the pie floater. It's one of our state
But
dishes.
you're saying it
garbage.
doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. I met an Australian woman.
It doesn't exist, but
I met an Australian woman the other day who I said g'day, and she was like this. She was in the line at the meet and greet, and I said, g'day, how you going? G'day, how you going? G'day, how you going? Right? And then she said, oh, he's putting it on. We don't really say that in Australia.
That's bullshit.
You're wrong. You're wrong, we do.
That's classist.
Yeah. She was too posh for it.
Yeah, she's one of those people that hates her Australian background, you know. She wants to seem
She's
British.
one of the Australian people who speak like this. Oh, no.
Did you say fair dinkum? Oh, my God. That's really gross.
So random. What a bogan.
Super bogan.
What a bogan.
Fucking bogans for the win, man. 23% is the second place. So pie at 24%. What do you think comes in at second?
It'll probably be sausage rolls or lamingtons, or it'll just straight up be Vegemite.
No, so 23% was Vegemite on toast.
Vegemite. Okay, so Vegemite I eat 3 times a week. I order it in. You can get it at Whole Foods. It's an acquired. It's if you grew up with it, you want it your whole life.
18% roast lamb, 16% sausage sizzle, and 8% for the pavlova, which I admit is Kiwi. So let's take that one off. And then the sausage sizzle.
Whoa. Why do you admit it's Kiwi? It was named after
Anna Pavlova, the
Anna
Russian
Pavlova.
ballet dancer.
And there's a place in Fremantle, Western Australia, that claims to have invented it. And now I know invented it. They claims to have invented it.
And Russell Crowe's Australian. You know, I'm sorry, we can't claim everything to those. And I don't
no. Look. Sometimes when I'm sitting back listening to Crowded House, good Aussie band, I think to myself about
how good was Russell Crowe at everything.
About how we bowled underarm in 1981. The Chappell brothers did it. It was their fault. Anyway.
And how good's The Hobbit, mate? Central Queensland, one of the best locations for a film.
Yeah, fucking Hobbit's a banger.
Yeah, we steal everything from them. They've got very few things, and we try and claim them. So I'm going to give them pavlova. But the sausage sizzle, I have to say, I grew up as an Australian kid who loved nothing more than, look, I played like footy. So I'm half, right? Half Aussie, half Wog. And
you have to explain again.
Eastern European, ethnic, whatever, Mediterranean. And so on the Aussie side, like the sausage sizzle at a footy club, like just a fucking shit barbecue. Even like the bacon and egg sandwich, that's like $3 at a community sausage sizzle, or the Bunnings sausage sizzle.
The onions are grilled very nice. The sausage is just a decimated fucking average sausage. But you know what? Why you can't have them in America? Because American bread fucking sucks. Australian bread is the very best in the world. I've travelled the world. An Australian loaf of white bread, just generic white shit bread, is as soft and just meshes down. And it can wrap around the sausage. Like, you know, like the old Chick-fil-A buns that used to mold to the chicken that was sort of softer. They've gotten a bit more grainy now, but the Australian bread just sort of bends around the sausage. You couldn't get that bend.
The sausage of Bunnings, it's 90% romance, 10% flavour, because it is shit. And now that I have a German girlfriend and I go over there and they pump a lot of sausages. And you know what the Germans are like? Do you know how embarrassing it is to be an Aussie who goes, we've got the best sausages?
No,
and
no,
it's
no.
essentially white bread and charcoal dust with tomato sauce.
Yeah, but the bread's the genius. You can't do... Okay.
And my father-in-law is like, yeah, that sausage it's not so good, huh?
Okay. So in Austria, I was eating that Kranken, whatever, the one with the cheese in it.
Oh, the Kaiserkäse.
Yeah, I was eating like 5 of them a day because I knew that my day... I was only there for 3 days and I wasn't going to get it again. And then I came home and Googled where to buy one in LA. You can't fucking get one. And they're on every corner.
We wanted to start a business. I remember that. That was the classic. You go to Europe and you come back and we were like, why don't we do sausage carts where we do German sausages on the street?
Well, I'm serious. That would fucking... Okay, you leave the Clippers or you leave Staples Center and there'll be maybe 80, 90, 100...
Mexican sausage grill.
Mexican street vendors.
Yeah.
Right? And it's completely legal, but they're all serving the exact same meal. Right? It's a bacon wrapped sausage in a normal, just store-bought hot dog bun.
With jalapeno.
With like peppers and onions and stuff like that, but it's a bacon wrapped sausage. It's not bad. I've never gotten sick off one. I've seen other people get sick off them, but I've never gotten sick off one. But if you don't like bacon or whatever, there's no variety out there. Imagine you have the Kaiserkäse.
The Kaiserkäse. It's a nice, crisp
It's a red
baguette.
sausage with a bite, with a snap to it, with cheese running through the bloody thing. Fucking brilliant.
Not only that, the chicken parma, which is really, to me, the real national dish of Australia. And that's just the chicken schnitzel with cheese and marinara sauce melted over it. And if you're an American listening to this, that is our number one meal. And if it came here,
Yeah, but they always think here, mate, the chicken pyramid, blah, blah, blah. It's not the standard Australian
It's
one.
not even Italian. It's a pub food, it's a pub food thing. But I thought you'd find this interesting. This list I gave you was for people 40 plus.
Yeah.
They also asked under 40s what's Australia's national dish, and number one was the avocado toast.
Yeah, that'd be right. Okay, so
That's the cosmopolitan left taking over this country.
Well, what you don't understand was that right up until about the year 2000, we didn't really have avocados in Australia in a main way. They were at the bottom of prawn cocktails.
Yeah.
I remember trying an avocado in the 90s and going, what the fuck is this?
Mate, I used to do a joke about it where I go, because we never had any at all. And
Yeah.
the first time we had it, I go, my dad used to think avocado was a Brazilian soccer player from the 80s. Like, it was nowhere.
It was nowhere. And now we're avocado crazed in Australia, but it was nowhere. No one was putting it on toast. Crushed avocado on toast. Got to have a crushed avocado. But it wasn't a thing until about 2000.
But the last one I want to say on this is I grew up as a very ignorant Australian, and I love my barbecues. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Australians
but
can't
we
barbecue.
but we love a barbecue. But the barbecue to us is not about the meat. It's just about the vibe. It's backyard cricket. It's a communal, shared. And here you are saying I'm too much of a fucking right winger. I do believe in the socialism of the communal barbecue by the beach, where you've got everyone else's grease, and then you put together a barbecue, and you fling a sausage to the birds, and you have that as the sun goes down on the Australian beach. There's nothing better. But the food itself is dog shit. And I come to America and go, I love barbecuing. And then you meet Americans who like barbecuing,
no.
and it's some kind of autistic science for guys with neckbeards in the South who have machines.
American barbecue and having things and brisket and that. I always find it weird that like brisket is like a Jewish thing that blokes who might not enjoy the company, right? So it's the barbecuing in America is fucking next level. It's a real dining experience. Sometimes it can be overrated. You got to get it, but when it's really good, it's really good. Now in Australia, it's just
Heat,
steak, sausages, and that's it, right? There's nothing else going on, and it's all just there's no finesse. But I'll tell you what you made me just think of then. Backyard cricket. Is there a better sport on earth that can be played by families in the backyard? I say no. Backyard American football with the tagging and stuff like that, I've seen people do it on Thanksgiving and stuff. Don't do it. Backyard baseball's no good because you're trying to hit the bloody ball over the fucking fence, right?
We have my grandma has really severe dementia, the Croatian one.
Yeah.
And I haven't spoken to her in 10 years where she could speak, right? And I'll get sad thinking about this. But my brother has, from our last Christmas with her, she was like 78, barely mobile, but she she went up to bat in backyard cricket. Never played cricket. She was sort of vaguely familiar. She held the fucking thing, and my brother came in and bowled, and she swung and she hit it, and it just deflected perfectly, and it went for 4. And we all ran over, and everyone was lifting up our bubba, and like that is the last memory I'll have of my grandmother, who she can barely speak English, and she's celebrating the fact that she hit 4 runs. It's simple. Everyone loves to play it. It speeds along.
It's something like women and men play it. It's not just all the boys get it. Their kids play with adults. And because cricket, unlike baseball, and I love baseball, but cricket is more of a finesse game than baseball. You know what I mean? You're not hitting it for the fence. So it is just tapping it away and moving the ball. And backyard cricket is played with a tennis ball, not with an actual cricket ball.
With tape applied if you're a serious family.
And then and every house has their own rules, right? So we had in my house, there was like, if you hit the wall, it's 4. But if you hit the window, you're out. So you really didn't want to hit the window, which was in the wall, but even though it wouldn't break the window, because you really have to smash it. Everyone has this rule: 6 and out. If you hit it over the fence, you get 6 runs and you're out.
Jim,
it's in someone else's backyard.
I've fought against this my whole life, and one of the reasons I left Australia is because of the 6 and out rule, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
6 and out sums up Australia. What it
You've
essentially
done
says
something
is,
really good.
how dare you think you're better than the rest of us? You get 6 runs. Well done. I hope you feel good about yourself, but go over the fence. Pick up the ball, come back, and you're out.
For people who don't know about cricket, if you hit the fence, it's 4 runs. If you get over the fence, equivalent of a home run, is worth 6 runs. But the reason...
No, it would be, if you hit a home run, you've lost.
Yeah, but that's because you're hitting it into someone else's yard.
Don't care. America is all about succeeding. Come here, bring your best. Bring your best, try and succeed, get rich. And Australia's energy is, who the fuck do you reckon you are, mate?
No.
He's a show-off.
Okay, we only have 2 balls. If we get rid of all of them...
One hand, one bounce is also, it's a tax on the successful, because you're like, he's too good, so now we're going to try and make it harder for him.
No, you got to go one hand, one bounce, because one hand, one bounce, because you can catch the ball out, but if it bounces, you can catch it with one hand. We used to do it one hand, one bounce, but it had to be your non-dominant hand.
Yeah,
You know,
that's all right, but I don't like any of the rule changes. Here's the worst rule, auto wiki. Because that's the automation of people's jobs right there. People went, oh, that's a boring job. That's being the catcher.
Yeah, but you have to play to the dimensions of your yard.
I'm just saying, I like when you had to actually be caught by not the wall.
Anyway.
I think the game went downhill. That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, backyard cricket, wonderful. What else you got for me?
Wonderful. This is I'm doing a podcast.
At this moment, we're talking about backyard cricket from the fucking 80s.
Mate, there's edit points. Don't you worry about that. What else did I want to talk to you about? What were we even discussing
The
to get
Oscars.
onto backyard
The
cricket?
Oscars
What
have
did we
just
talk
been
about backyard cricket?
You were
how did we get
talking
onto
about
that?
Australianism, and then you
was the
started
food.
crying about your grandmother.
Oh yeah, because it's very. This is the thing I like. This is the thing I like most about the old immigrant story in Australia, and why I like Australia Day. Is my grandparents came to the country, and what they do in Australia back in the day is they used to split people up so you didn't ghettoise with your own group, and so you got to all different towns. So then you're a foreigner, but you have to learn the ways of the new culture you go to. And every time I see Australia Day, I think of immigrants that have come to Australia and how much they've loved to adapt it.
When I see Australia Day, I personally, and I'm not Aboriginal, so I can't speak to how they feel, right? But I personally just think of, how multicultural and what a great country it is. And it's meant to be a day where we all band together, have a barbecue, play some backyard cricket, eat some food that is synonymous with us.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's like a white nationalist day, but it's also a Sudanese guy that escaped a war wearing an Aussie flag as a cape doing a fucking shoey.
Exactly, right? So I celebrate 4th of July here in America. I wasn't fucking there. If anything, I would have been on the English side, right? Yeah. Back at that time in history, right?
You're a fucking loyalist scumbag.
No, but my genealogy comes from there. Like my family would have been in England during that period.
That's why you don't want Americans to have guns, because you didn't want the country taken from them.
Yeah, I'm a fucking redcoat.
That's why I like guns.
I've been a redcoat the whole time.
We needed guns to fucking kick your kind out of this country.
The redcoats, historically, are the dumbest cunts in history.
One of the great losses.
What? How long did it take for people to figure out camouflage?
No, but do you know why they wore red coats? Because I used to do a bit about this, and I've been lectured in the comments.
Okay.
So the enemy never saw you bleed.
Please. Their fucking shirt underneath was white.
Their leg was also blown off by a cannonball. Harder to discover.
Yeah. They were fucking... Shut up. He gets shot in the head. Lucky I've got my red coat. Like, get the fuck out. If that was the reason's fucking dumb. Also, why have you got a drummer?
Well, that's why he always said Paul Revere letting everyone know the English is coming wasn't that much of an accomplishment. It's like, mate, we can fucking hear him and we can see him.
Yeah.
Like, they're right there.
He should have been in the corner of one of Blonnie Blues sessions.
Say what you see, Paul.
The English isn't coming.
All right. So what the fuck were we discussing?
I was going to go
the Oscars. Okay, so at this moment...
Give me the movies.
Sorry, here's our edit point.
Edit point.
Because I'd like this to be bloody sharper than we've been doing it. I'm being a buffoon. At this moment, the Oscar nominations have come out.
Yes.
And what do you think?
Have
you watched any?
I've only seen Wicked. And Wicked was really good.
I've watched 2.
Oh, and I've seen some of the animated movies because I have kids. I just saw the Wallace and Gromit. That got nominated.
You got to say...
I haven't seen the one. I want to see the Demi Moore one, but you know what one I don't want to watch? I don't want to watch Conclave, and people say it's really good, but the trailer couldn't put me off a movie more. Like, is it about them being pedophiles? Because if it's not about them being pedophiles, I don't want to watch.
It's about them selecting a pope.
Yeah,
right?
it's about them selecting a pope, which I think is all a load of rubbish and bullshit. Like, but it's also the trailer's like this. So when will this happen? I'm like, is that one of the best bits from the film? Because everyone's saying it's really good. It's the English Patient all over again. Remember Seinfeld? I remember watching that Seinfeld episode where Elaine hated the English Patient because I hated the English Patient. And I went along and saw it. And this, I think Conclave...
Doesn't it also star Ray Fiennes?
Yeah. Ray Fiennes, Oscar-winning movies fucking suck dicks. They all fucking suck.
I watched The Real Pain.
What's The Real Pain?
I really wanted to... I was like, I'm going to watch these Oscar movies because I feel like... And I think we spoke about this in the bloody first episode. But you used to have seen... Like, naturally, you would have watched every Oscar movie you probably saw.
If there was 5 of them, you would have seen 4 of them. And now they do like 8 because they want more.
But you don't fucking know any of them.
No,
none of them are good.
Don't know any of them.
You know, you can tell that a culture's in trouble when they're not making any good fucking movies.
My wife refuses to let the wild... It gets really good reviews, but she won't watch The Wild Robot.
What's The Wild Robot?
The Wild Robot is one of the animated ones, and people think it might get the Oscar for the best. Okay, for animation, it's going to be between Inside Out 2, which is meant to be really good, and The Wild Robot. And The Wild Robot is about a robot getting lost out in the wild and animals helping it out and stuff like that. But my wife is like, fuck robots. She's like...
You've always said she's a bigot.
She's like this, I don't want to watch anything where I'm meant to have empathy for robots. I'm not doing it.
What about Amelia Perez? I didn't even know what the fuck this was. It's a trans drug lord in Mexico that has 13 nominations. Well, they're saying it's got the most nominations almost in history. Never heard of it.
What's it called? The Cartel?
Come on, folks. Huh?
The Cartel.
That's the out. I mean, where else are we going with this? The Cartel. That's a big problem in America is all the cartels that are out there.
Clip it.
The amount of times that I've been in a bar and I've been assaulted by a cartel.
You got to worry about the cartel.
Fuck, I went home with a cartel. When I could tell, it was too late.